In this question, we are trying to determine how many pounds of each mix should be prepared for maximum revenue. So we want to maximize our revenue. Revenue is going to be $7 times the number of pounds of deluxe mix that's made, plus $5.40 times the amount of the economy mix that is made. Now what I'm going to do next is look at how much do I have in terms of cashews and how much do I have in terms of peanuts. So we know that when we make this deluxe mix, half of it is made up of cashews and half of peanuts. And when we make the economy mix, a third of that is made up of cashews and then the other 2/3 is peanuts. So the amount of cashews that we have altogether is half of however many pounds of deluxe that we make, plus a third of the number of pounds of economy mix that we make. And we know that the number of cashews, well, I should say the number of pounds of cashews, has to be between 0 and 130 pounds, because they told me in the beginning that they have 130 pounds of cashews. So that's my equation, or I should say inequality, for cashews. Now I'll do the same thing for peanuts. So the amount of peanuts made is equal to, or the amount of peanuts used is equal to half the amount of deluxe mix that's made plus 2/3 the amount of economy mix. So I'll take this expression and say that also has to be greater than or equal to 0. Can't have a negative amount of nut mixture. And so we have 1/2 D plus 2/3 E, and we know that the peanuts are limited by the fact that we only have 170 pounds of those. So now I have two inequalities and my constraint. So at this point, I'm going to graph these inequalities. I have those two inequalities, and I'll graph that on the next screen. In this graph, I've shown the region defined by our two inequalities, and remember that x and y both have to be greater than or equal to 0 as well, so we're limited to the first quadrant again. I also brought over my constraint. So what we can see is that we have 4 points on this polygon shape, and the maximum and the minimum for revenue can only occur at those 4 points. So I've got them listed here. We have 0, 0. Well, that's obviously going to give us a minimum value because that would give us exactly 0 revenue. Then we have the point 0, 255. Now here our y value, or what was it in the problem? The deluxe mix? No. What was it? Oh, y is the economy mix. Okay. So that would be the economy, of course, the economy mix. So that's 255 and 0 deluxe mix, so 255 times the 540 gives us 1377. Then I'll skip over to 260, 0, 260 for our deluxe mix, so 260 pounds of that. No economy mix at all. And how much do we make? $1,785. So that's better than just making economy mix, but it's not the best that we can do, because what we could do is use 180 pounds of deluxe mix and 120 pounds of economy mix, and that will give us a total revenue of $1,908, and that is my answer. That is the most revenue that you can make in that situation.